hurricanes and other windstorms, cyclones. And because it is heavily populated, it is difficult to grow enough fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds to feed everyone in the event of a breakdown of the global distribution system. Most of the food that comes into your grocery stores has to be trucked long distances. Obviously, some of it is grown locally, such as your strawberries and some of your tropical fruits, citrus, etc. But the vast majority of it is shipped from other places by ship or plane or by train or by truck on your interstate highways. And in the years to come, it will become increasingly difficult to acquire many of your so-called basic necessities because of the need to ship it all the way to the tip of your peninsula. So Florida is not considered one of the safer places to be. This channel and our group and many other groups are discussing the timeline for relocating yourselves to a safer area. This particular year, 2011, will be the first year in 4 years when significant windstorms are forecast to strike parts of your Florida coastline, including at least 2 major hurricanes and 2 tropical storms. This particular area, we see there is a good likelihood of being hit by at least 1 major hurricane, and your west coast also by at least 1 major hurricane. And then there are a couple of tropical storms that are forecast to go right up your coastline, creating a lot of flooding and wind damage. And that is this year. The next year of significant tropical activity would be 2014, which is likely to be even stronger storms and hurricanes. So you have that coming right up. And if you are inland and you have your house very sturdy and well above sea level, you will probably weather those storms without a lot of damage. You also have your economic system. Your economic system will likely attempt to recover itself several times and will be dragged back down by your unsustainable debt structure. And then finally, by the year 2014 or 2015, it will collapse under its own weight because there will no longer be ways of propping up your debt. Even now, your government is attempting to raise your debt ceiling. There are many souls, even within your government, who understand that the debt is out of control and are trying desperately to keep it from being raised. But they are discovering that they have become so dependent on the present structure that it would require almost a full dismantling of your government in order to change the debt structure. So safe places to be, we would say the southeastern United States inland at higher altitudes, and we are talking specifically western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, southwestern Virginia, extreme northern Georgia, and perhaps extreme southern Kentucky would be areas that would be relatively safe. Of course, you do have increases in violent weather in those areas as well, and you will find that most areas of your planet will have increases of extremes. Droughts and floods, sometimes in the same years, hotter summers, colder winters, more extremes in weather. But in those areas, due to the nature of the geography, the soil, and the infrastructure, it will be a lot easier to have crops that are sustainable. At least every other year, you would grow a crop and then maybe store food the following year if the weather is quite a bit different. But approximately every other year you would have a good, decent growing season in that region. And in some cases, if you have proper greenhouses, hydroponics, and permaculture, you would be able to grow crops every year, in fact, around the calendar. So the southeastern United States, inland, southern Appalachian Mountains is one area where we see a lot of safe pockets. There are a few safe pockets in the interior northeast, though not nearly as many as in the southeast. There are a few safe pockets in the southwest, though not very many because it is an arid climate and you have a limited amount of agricultural land. And then you have the Northwest, portions of Oregon, Washington, and extreme Northern California, where you will have safe areas. You have portions of southern Canada. You have portions of southern France and northern Spain. You have areas in South America, in Venezuela, portions of Brazil and Costa Rica. And you have various areas in the Ural Mountains and a few areas along the coastal areas of Africa that would be considered safe places to be. And then you have pockets in other locations. Other questions?